Hello and welcome to the third video about TipKit. Today we will have a look at parameters with tips. So let's jump directly into the code. So as you can see, we continue where we left off last time. We had added our delete tip, and now we want to add another tip with a parameter. So I just copy it. We say it's a delete completion tip. And what we want to say is we want to show a tip when a user successfully deleted an entry, or maybe two. So for this one, I don't need an image and a message. So I just add a title. And the title is you successfully deleted entries. And now we have to change it a little bit. So we don't have an event anymore. We have now a parameter. Therefore we have the annotation add parameter, and we say we have a bar. Okay, how should we call it? We call it reached deletion threshold. And we say it's just a Boolean. So we start with false. Now we have to change the rule. It's not an event anymore, so we need the reach deletion threshold. So reach deletion threshold. We get an event here. We just don't need it here, and we just say, okay, the value which comes in is $0, and when it's equal to true, then we want to show it. And there's a problem here, because it needs binding. So now the tip should be okay. Delete completion, missing pattern. Which one? Static var. What is the problem here? Let's rebuild it. And there's no problem. Okay, it was just Xcode. So we configured it here. Now we have to add delete completion tip. What else do we have to do? We have to add it to the view. Otherwise it won't show up. So it's the delete completion tip. And now we could rerun our preview. And I can just add some countries, I can remove them. Nothing happens. And that is the thing, because we don't change the parameter to true. We added a rule. Only if the parameter changed to true, then we wouldn't show the tip. So we have to adjust it a little bit. And where do we want to add it? So basically we want to add it when the user deletes the things. So what we could say that we count how many times the deletion was triggered, or directly at the first time we trigger it. So let's start when the user deletes it. So what do we have to do then? So we just have to change the parameter to true. So it's the delete completion tip. And we have the reach threshold, and we have to set it to true. Then we rebuild it. And now, because this tip wasn't shown, so it isn't invalidated till now, we should get it. So let's test it. We just add some things, and now we remove one. And as you can see, we directly get the successfully deleted. And now I don't invalidate it, and I just restart at the end, and then we'll have a look what happens. So again, I add, and as you can see, it gets shown more than one time. So when I now invalidate it, then it shouldn't be shown anymore. But maybe the user ignores the tip. So maybe we should be able to say that we want to present it only once. So let's verify that it won't show up anymore. We delete it because we invalidated it. It won't show up anymore. So let's reset the data store. But now we want to have the ability to say, we want to show this only once and then never. So, and we can do that with an additional configuration of a tab. So what we have is options, and the options array has tip options in it, and here we can configure some stuff. For example, we could say tip, we could say max display count, and therefore we can say how many times it should be shown. So that's what we want. And we would tell the options we only want to show it once, so one time. And now when I rebuild it, we should get a different behavior now. So I add some countries. Now I delete one. This thing shows up. I don't invalidate it and restart it. And hopefully it won't show up anymore when I delete another entry. So let's delete it. And as you can see, it doesn't show up anymore. And these options you can configure with every tip. So you also have additional stuff which is possible. So for example, ignores display frequency, controls whether a tip obeys the pre-configured display frequency interval. So you could adjust it a little bit how often you want to show it. And yeah, for more stuff, you could have a look at the documentation. But I think that's the common thing you need. Yeah, the implementation is pretty straightforward, and you can hint your user to new features, explain them how you can use features in your app, and maybe that's a possibility to get rid of the normal onboarding screens, which typically most of the apps have. But yeah, that's on your side. You have to decide how you want to do it. And yeah, that's all for the TipKit stuff. If you have any questions, feel free to comment it below the video. Yeah, with that being said, I hope you see us in the next video. Till then, bye-bye.